The Santa Claus rally that started on Christmas Eve kind of stalled out yesterday, and it looks like it's continuing its decline today. Yesterday, the Dow Jones did have a small gain, but the NASDAQ and tech stocks and Bitcoin had declines. And then today, it looks like the declines are accelerating. Right now, the biggest risk to the market right now is bond yields, the 10-year bond yield and 30-year bond yields. The 30-year bond yield is near 2024 highs, and the 10-year bond yield is close to 4.6%. That's weighing on stocks right now, especially interest rate sensitive tech stocks and small cap stocks. Look, I still think that, the market is starting to price in the increased chances of higher inflation next year due to uncertainty around Trump's policies in regards to immigration and tariffs and lower rate cuts, which is why bond yields are rising. But I still think next year is going to be a strong year for small and mid cap tech companies. I still think ultimately the Fed is going to cut interest rates a little bit more than the market's currently expecting. Obviously, we'll have to see. But I think that right now the Federal Reserve is uncertain about how Trump's policies will affect the economy and markets. But once we have that certainty, I think more interest rate cuts will happen. On top of that, Apple just closed in on a $4 trillion market cap and hit all-time highs yesterday. And I think there's going to be more room to go in Apple. Apple's in a new super cycle, in my opinion, due to its Apple Intelligence features. A lot of people will now want to upgrade their iPhones to have these features. And I think this will be a super cycle for Apple because of that. This Apple will pretty much allow consumers to have a part in the AI revolution. It's the consumer part of the AI revolution with the intelligence features of the iPhone. So I think Apple should continue to do well next year. And yes, Bitcoin did slump below $95,000. But ultimately, is this the end? Is this the end of the rally? I don't think so. I initially said Bitcoin will hit 150,000 by year end. It looks like that's not going to happen. It looks like Bitcoin will likely hit maybe 100,000 by year end. But I'm still optimistic where Bitcoin's going. We have multiple crypto people in Trump's transition team that'll have positions in the science and technology and AI and crypto councils, as well as a pro crypto SEC chair and commerce secretary. JD Vance owns Bitcoin. Trump's talking about a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We also have BlackRock and multiple other ETF issuers having a Bitcoin ETF since the beginning of this year. That's another tailwind. And then going back to the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, we had news stories that Trump was talking about acquiring Panama and Greenland for strategic and economic resources. But I would almost say that, and Anthony Pompliano said this on an interview in Fox Business, that having a Bitcoin strategic reserve is like acquiring digital real estate in a digital gold rush. And especially with our debt being $36 trillion as a hedge against our undisciplined monetary policy, a Bitcoin strategic reserve, I think would go a long way. And obviously we're having nation states, we want to front run other nation states so we can be ahead of it, because once you start having multiple nation states doing having a Bitcoin strategic reserve for their nation states or countries, it'll be a global arms race. So I think once that happens, and Trump talked about it before, and other members of his transition team, I think that'll be another bullish catalyst for Bitcoin. I don't think the run's over. I'm still expecting a 250,000 peak of Bitcoin price for this cycle. Obviously, we have to see, but there's a lot of tailwinds there, and I'm pretty optimistic. And next year, I'm reiterating that my price target for next year in the stock market is 6,600 for the S&P 500 base case and 7,000 for the bull case. I think the stock market, because it had such strong 2023 and 2024 years, I think the market will probably not have the same amount of gains, but I still expect like a 9 to 10% gain from here. Let's see what happens.